school's out, blame corona, but I still got some science I could show ya. No class, no school, that's cool, throw the class on the YouTube. Even if they shut the school down, I'll get that knowledge anyway somehow. Real scholars won't stop for corona. Tune in for that science takeover.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Mrs. Finney's science class. Thank you for joining us again. Shout out to the HB Warriors. Shout out to all of our subscribers, and definitely shout out to our visitors. Today we have a new topic. We're actually in a new lesson. This is our third week of online learning. So let's get into it. Today, Monday, April 6th, we are still in our TCI curriculum program, Cells and Genetics. Lesson 7 is our new lesson. It's called Parts of a Cell. And we're starting with section 1, talking about bacterial cells. Now, we've had conversations about bacterial cells, but now we're going to look into them to see what they're made of. So our learning objective for today is I can explain the function of the 4 structures of a bacterial cell. All right, let's see what those 4 structures are. And let's get into our lesson. So here at the top in our reading, it says a kitchen contains many parts. We know this, right? Not news. The stove is used for cooking. The refrigerator keeps food cold. And the sink is used for cleaning up. Each part has a function, and each part contributes to the function of the kitchen as a whole. Each part also has a particular structure that helps it perform its function. For example, a refrigerator wouldn't be able to do its job unless it had a cold, hollow place to store the food. Okay? So there's things that happen in each system that allow it to do its job. All right? Now, let's look a little deeper. Like a kitchen, cells are filled with cell parts. Each part has a distinct shape and function that allows it to do its job. A distinct shape and function that allows the cell to do its job. All right? Cells with different functions have different cell parts, but all cells, even a simple bacterial cell, have 4 parts in common. So what are these 4 parts that will be in every type of cell? Here they are. A cell membrane, cytoplasm, DNA, and ribosomes. All right. Figure 1A illustrates the parts that all cells have in common. Why do all cells need these particular parts? All right, that is our essential question. So I'm going to take a look here at this image. This is an illustration of a basic bacterial cell. Cells can have more than these 4 main parts, but all cells, including this bacterial cell, have these parts. A cell membrane, which is right here. Okay, it surrounds the cell. Cytoplasm, okay, fills in the cell. That's this blue section in here. Okay, and we'll talk about that. And then we have, where are we? DNA, okay? DNA is in here. Just a little yellow squiggly stuff. Looks like strands, all right? And then ribosomes. That will be illustrated by these red circular shapes, all right? So those are common parts of all cells, and those are the 4 parts of bacterial cells. All right. So what in the world do those 4 parts do? Let's talk about it. The cell membrane surrounds a cell. Basic thing you need to go. Surrounds the cell. Surrounding the cell is the cell membrane. Surround the cell. Okay, no, not doing it. Okay, not doing it. All cells are surrounded by a flexible cell membrane. The cell membrane is a protective structure that encloses a cell and functions to control what enters and leaves the cell. It is like a bodyguard for the cell. You want to get in here? Let's see your ID. Let's see. All right, come on in. Come on in. Thank you. Thank you. Wait. You want to get in here? Let's see your ID. Now. Security, take them away. Take them away. All right, so think the cell membrane is like bodyguard of the entire cell. All right. In order to fulfill its function, the membrane is made of a material that allows some kinds of particles pass through, while other kinds of particles are held back. This property is called selective permeability. All right, so the bodyguard is saying, due to my selective permeability, I have the permission to decide who can enter and who cannot enter the cell. Something like that, all right? Hope that works. For example, a window screen is selectively permeable because it lets air pass through while holding back insects. So glad about that. Similarly, a cell membrane lets water or oxygen pass through freely while holding back bigger substances like cell debris. Okay? So, first one we're learning about today, cell membrane. Cell membrane is in all cells, and that is the first one we're talking about, that is inside of bacterial cells. Second structure, DNA. Say DNA with me. DNA. All right. DNA carries instructions. Before a house can be built, an architect must create blueprints that contain instructions for how to build a house. The blueprints instruct the workers on what size to make the kitchen and where to place the sink. Like the house, a cell also needs instructions for building its parts. DNA is a substance that makes up the instructions for building the cell's components and for carrying out its life processes. All right? So, this is like the architect must create blueprints that contain instructions for how to build the house. So, DNA is sitting there saying, okay, guys, so this is what we're going to do today. All right? We're going to go to the living room and we're going to create this nice ceiling area, you know, above where the bed would be. I think that would be great for the people that move into this house, okay? And then the kitchen, we want this specific look in the kitchen. You want it to be open, very wide open. We need a little island in the middle of the kitchen. That would be really great. And as far as the living room, we want to have this living room set up in such a way where we could put a TV stand over here, right? And then we can have the couches set up like this against the wall. I think that would be great. So DNA is deciding where everything goes, how everything flows. It's providing the instructions for the cell, okay? So, here, DNA, like we said, is a substance that makes up the instructions for building the cell's components and for carrying out its life processes. The thousands of substances and structures made within a cell are built according to specific instructions in the DNA. For example, a cell needs instructions for building each part of its cell membrane. These instructions allow it to make a specific type of membrane. Other instructions in DNA are for making the structures and substances that release energy from food and for those that allow a cell to divide into two new cells. All right? If construction workers were building the bedroom in a house, they would have the blueprint of the entire house. But they don't have to read the part about where to put the sink in the kitchen. Similarly, not all instructions in the DNA are needed at the same time or place. Because of this, cells have mechanisms for reading and interpreting parts of the instructions at different times. For example, once the cell membrane is made, the cell might not need to access that part of the instructions again unless the cell membrane is damaged. Okay? So, second one we covered was the DNA. All right, here we go. Next, ribosomes. All right, so we talked about cell membrane. Okay, it's like the bodyguard of the cell. Who comes in? Who can't come in? Who stays out? All right, and then we have DNA. It's giving the instructions for the cell. Right. Now we're talking about ribosomes. All right, ribosomes make proteins. Another cell part found in all cells are ribosomes. Ribosomes are small cell structures that make proteins by following the instructions in DNA. Here's ribosomes. Okay, so DNA. What would you like for me to do? I'm here to make the protein. Ribosome. Something like that. Okay. A protein is a substance that makes up much of an organism's structure. I'm here to make the protein. Say it with me. Ribosome. Something like that. Okay. Proteins also participate in most chemical reactions that occur in cells. Keep that in mind. All right. We'll go back to our picture shortly. So we covered cell membrane, DNA, ribosomes. Last one for bacterial cells. All right. Cytoplasm fills the cell. All cells also contain cytoplasm. This is a gel-like substance that fills the inside of a cell. If you imagine a cell as a balloon full of gel, let's picture that, a balloon full of gel, not air, not helium, gel, right? The balloon will be the cell membrane, and the gel will be the cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm is the filling. It fills it up, right? Fills it up, okay? Fill it up, volume. Make sure my formula is right. All right, here we go. For example, the ribosomes make proteins in the cytoplasm, okay? In a bacterial cell, the DNA is found in the cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm pretty much invites everyone in. You can sit here. You can sit here. Come on in, ribosome. Come on in. Yeah, I have a nice little soft gel-like substance you all can just, get yourselves comfortable in and do your work. It's like comfortable couch for the entire cell. Like a cozy couch in the entire cell. Just nice gel-like substance. Everyone can do their work in their own little spot inside the cytoplasm. Okay? So, a basic bacterial cell has these 4 main parts. All right, what are those 4 main parts? Name them. What was the first one we talked about? Cell membrane. What was the second one we talked about? DNA. What was the third one we talked about? Ribosomes. What was the last one we talked about? Cytoplasm. You are so good. All right, here we go. So, a cell membrane, cytoplasm, DNA, and ribosomes are essential for all living things, and so they are found in every living cell. All right. So those are the 4 parts of bacterial cells. I want to share with you all a bacterial cell wrap. I have to put a beat to it, and I will load it to our YouTube channel. All right, here we go. Bacterial cells have a cell membrane, ribosome, cytoplasm, and DNA. Each part has a function in the cell that is true. Let's take some time and talk about what they do. Now, the cell membrane, it protects so well. Decide what goes in and out of the cell. It does a job like a vessel or security. This property is called selective permeability. Now, the DNA is a substance that gives the cell its instructions. It tells the rest of the cell who's in charge and makes sure they do their job like a boss. Ribosomes are really small and make the protein. Something organism structure is going to need. Cytoplasm is a gel that fills the space where many cell processes take place. Bacterial cells have a cell membrane. Ribosomes, cytoplasm, and DNA. Bacterial cells have a cell membrane. Ribosomes, cytoplasm, and DNA. There we go. So you guys are gonna have to work on that. And that way you can memorize the 4 parts of bacterial cells and the jobs of those 4 parts. All right? So say it with me. Bacterial cells have a cell membrane. Ribosomes, cytoplasm, and DNA. Bacterial cells have a cell membrane. Ribosomes, cytoplasm, and DNA. Good job. All right, let's move on to our check for understanding. So right here, it says drag and drop true statements about bacterial cells onto the image. Here we go. First statement. Cytoplasm fills the inside of a cell with a gel-like substance. True or false? What do you think? What do you think? Take it or leave it. So take it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take this one. Drop that right there. Okay, all right. All instructions in the DNA are read at the same time and place. What do you think about that? Take it or leave it. Said leave it. I say leave it, so no. Not true. We read that. Not true. Next one, ribosomes make proteins based on the DNA's instructions. Take it or leave it. Take it. Okay. Let's go with that. All right. Here we go. Every cell contains a cell membrane, cytoplasm, DNA, and ribosomes. Take it or leave it. What do you think? Say take it. All right. Let's see. We have a space. 2 more spaces. All right. Oh, I went a little too far down the chart. No. All right, here we go. The cell membrane protects the cell and controls what enters and leaves. Take it or leave it. What do you think? Take it. All right. Ooh. Here we go. The cell membrane makes up the instructions for building the cell's components. Take it or leave it. Yes, definitely leave it. All right, here we go. Let's do our check for understanding. Good job. All 4 are correct. So facts that we took along with this: cytoplasm fills the inside of a cell with a gel-like substance. Ribosomes make proteins based on the DNA's instructions. Every cell contains a cell membrane, cytoplasm, DNA, and ribosomes. The cell membrane protects the cell and controls what enters and leaves. All right, let's go back to our image. And I want you guys just to look, now that we know what these parts do, take a look at where they are inside of a bacterial cell. Okay, so here we have the cell membrane. Protects so well, decide what goes in and out of the cell. Okay, cell membrane, right? We have the cytoplasm, the gel-like substance, right? This is blue section. It's giving everybody somewhere to sit, like cushion, right? And then we have the ribosomes, just here to make some protein. The ribosomes, all right? And then we have DNA. It's giving out the instructions, what everyone wants to do. All right, so that's where those parts would be located inside a bacterial cell. Keep that in mind. All right, so now that you saw that, that was a little giveaway. Right down here, it says color the cell membrane, cytoplasm, ribosomes, and DNA of the bacterial cell below. Complete the key, identifying each part by a different color. So here's the key. All right, so you want to pick a color for each of the 4 parts of a bacterial cell, and then you want to add that color to this bacterial cell. All right, so we should be able to identify the cell membrane. We should be able to identify the ribosomes, right? This should be easy. We should be able to identify the DNA as well as our cytoplasm. All right, here's an example. okay, of what yours could look like. So in this image, they selected the cell membrane to be red. So you see it surrounding the cell in red. The cytoplasm fills in the cell. It's the gel-like substance. They chose green for that. Okay. The ribosomes we have as blue. So you'll see blue dots inside of the cell to represent the ribosomes. All right. And the DNA, they selected yellow. And so you have the DNA looking like some squiggly strand in the middle of the bacterial cell. Okay. So you can create a similar image on your own. All right, here we go. This should be easy. Draw a line between each structure and its function. Oh, well, this should be so simple. So you're going to make a line from cytoplasm to which one of these describes cytoplasm. I want you guys to take a look. Try this on your own at this time, and then we'll go over it. Just think about it, look at it, see if you're making the connections. And then I'll share the answers with you. Which one do you think cytoplasm connects with? Ooh, la. What about DNA? Ooh, la. What about ribosome? How about cell membrane? What about protein? Okay. Well, let's see if you're on track. Here we go. Here are the answers. Make sure you make these notes inside of your TCI program. All right. We're on lesson 7, section 1. So the cytoplasm we have connected to a gel-like substance that fills the inside of a cell. We have DNA as the substance that makes up the instructions for building the cell's components and for carrying out its life functions. Ribosome, a small cell structure that makes proteins. Know this stuff. Yes. All right. Cell membrane, a substance that makes up much of an organism's structure and helps it function. Did I point to that right there? No. Cell membrane, a protective structure that encloses a cell and controls what enters and leaves the cell. There we go. And protein, a substance that makes up much of an organism's structures and helps it function. All right, so make sure you have your lines going to the correct descriptions. Okay. And last piece, explain how a dog door is selectively permeable. Okay, what does it let through? What does it keep out? Look at the little dog. Oh, such a cute one. Do you have a dog at home? I don't, but just asking, just curious. You can leave that in the comment section. If you do, what's your dog's name? If you don't have a dog, do you have a pet at all? What's your pet's name? Please leave that in the comment section. We'd love to know. All right, here we go. Show the answer. So the answer says a dog door is selectively permeable because it lets dogs pass through, but not who? Not humans. If you ever tried to go through a dog door, wow, that would be a tough thing. All right, so that is it for today's lesson. Let's wrap up with our outro. You guys did a great job. I think you guys are good to go for bacterial cells. High five. Yes? Yes? Okay. All right, here we go. It's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Oh, it's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to all of our scholars. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace.